In this lesson, we're going to solve one-step equations using multiplication and division. So we're going to solve the following equations and show the solving step and the solution. So we're going to start by building our wall. We're going to look on the side that has the variable. So I see 9b. And remember, side by side means multiply. So we want to do the opposite operation. We want to divide by 9. So we have to do that on both sides. If you recall, a number divided by itself is 1, and 1 times v would be v. 45 divided by 9 would be 5, and that's our solution. So if we wanted to check that, we could take 9 times our solution, which we said was 5, and it would indeed give us back 45. So that's called a check. The next equation, again, we build the wall. This time we have a negative coefficient. Side by side means multiply, so we're going to do the opposite. We're going to divide, but it's very important that we divide by -4, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive, and we want the variable to be a positive variable, not a negative. So whatever I do on one side, I do on the other. So again, a -4 divided by -4 is 1. 1 times n would be n. And on this side, 52, positive 52 divided by -4 would be a negative answer, and that's -13. So the solution is -13. Number 3, you might notice, is backwards. Again, as we've discussed, if you don't like seeing a problem written backwards, you can just shift it. You can write 8y on this side and -40 on the other side. That's certainly something that you can do if you prefer. However, we can't solve this as given. So we're going to start by on the side where the variable is, and on this side it's 8y. So I start on the right side. Side by side means multiply, so I'm going to divide by 8, not by -40, but by 8, whatever's next to the variable, on both sides. So 8 divided by 8 is 1. 1 times y is my variable. And on the other side, -40 divided by +8 gives me a -5. So the solution is -5. The next set of equations can be very challenging. They just look more challenging. But if we recall what this little bar means, a division bar, this is m, unknown number, divided by 4. And the answer after we divide by 4 will give us back 7. So again, when we solve, we're doing the inverse of what we see. We see division, so we're going to do the opposite, which would be multiplying. And the shortcut way would be to show this next to the variable. When we have a number and a variable next to each other, we do not have to show parentheses. However, we could show parentheses. And whatever I do on one side, I have to do exactly the same thing on the other side. So I'm multiplying by 4 on both sides. Now again, 4 divided by 4, and this is actually 4m divided by 4. If I read it out a little bit differently, you can see that they become 1, and I have m on that side, and 28 is the answer, the solution. Now, it might clarify it if I write this a little bit differently. What I just showed was I would refer to as the shortcut way. However, since m divided by 4 also looks like a fraction, we could show that we're multiplying by 4 over 1. And I could do this on both sides, but since I have a whole number on this side, 4 over 1, or 4 divided by 1, is the same thing as 4. So I can just write it as 4 on this side. And 4 times m would be 4m. 1 times 4 would be 4. And so once again, maybe this clarifies how we were able to get m by itself. So let's look at the next example. Again, we have w divided by, this time, -2. So we always start on the side with the variable. the opposite of dividing is to multiply. But I need to use the negative 2. Again, negative divided by a negative would be a positive, and we want the positive variable left over. Whatever I do on the one side, I have to do on the other side, so these should be matching. I'm multiplying by negative 2, I'm multiplying by negative 2. If it helps you to write this out so it looks clear that you have negative 2w divided by negative 2, then you're certainly welcome to do that. So negative 2 divided by negative 2 would be positive 1, leaving our w, and a positive times a negative would be a negative 32. Sometimes when I do this type of problem, it's helpful if I double check my work. So we think that w can be replaced with negative 32. The original problem says I'm dividing by negative 2. And when I do that, I should get back positive 16. So if you take your calculator and take negative 32 divided by negative 2, you indeed get positive 16. So let's move on. As you can see, this problem is written backwards. You're welcome to switch sides if you prefer, but I'm going to go ahead and start on the side that has the variable n divided by 3. The opposite of dividing by 3 is to multiply by 3. So I'm going to multiply this side by 3, and I'm going to multiply this side by 3. So 3 times 22 would give me 66. These become 1 or cross off, leaving 66 equals n. And our final problem, you might have noticed there's a negative sign out in front. So we're going to assign that negative to our number because we always like to have a positive variable. So I'm going to choose to rewrite this right now as a divided by negative 5. And that's going to equal negative 6. So I look at the side that has the variable. It's a divided by negative 5. So I'm going to multiply by negative 5 on both sides of the equation. A negative divided by negative is a positive 1, leaving positive variable of a, and negative 6 times negative 5 would be a positive 30. Again, this would probably be something I'd want to check. If I took positive 30 divided by negative 5, it would indeed give me back a negative 6. Hope this was helpful, and go ahead and try these on your own. Thank you.